welcome back. It's time for us to get into the segment, Hello, Mr. President. Now, as we began the new year, one of the things we don't want to forget is that we have to hold all our duty bearers accountable for whatever they've been assigned to take control of and make sure that things work the way they're supposed to work. It's absolutely vital and it's important. Now, in the Western region, there have been some challenges that have been ongoing for some time. We're going to speak with our Western regional correspondent, Kwesi Enimeje, and he's going to give us some details as to what exactly has been going on. Now, before we do that, we'll take a look at what some viewers sent us regarding the issues within their community.
Mr. President, I'm Isaac Boichi Adani. Now that the election is over, we need to get back to governance. The people of Biposo electoral area in the Shama District are facing a dangerous problem, of which the clay miners have dug a lot of open pits in the community, of which is causing a problem and a danger into the community. You can see the background. There's a pit over here. And not this one only. There's a numerous pits within the community, which is causing a problem. Whenever it rains, this pit harvests rainwater. And since it's within, in the midst of the community, children play around. Just recently, some children came and played around, and they fell into this water, and they lost their life. Mr. President, we need your help. We have lodged complaint in several quarters, but still there's no avail, no results to that. So, Mr. President, we need to act to clamp down this illegal clay miners. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, from Peter Ekomensa, me want Shama District, a Western region. Mr. President, yes, slow. Yenu kwani atitu apansam. Bomadi chuo na boboyan. Card namda na wabufu. De bia yentasa papa. Enti nanado yes slow. Bomadi chuo boshan.
All right, so you can see there are two challenges that we're going to be addressing this morning. Clay pits that have been abandoned, and they are causing all kinds of havoc within communities. They are just right in residential areas, and you find that children are playing around. And recently, some children lost their lives playing in the clay pits, and also terrible roads that need fixing, that need rebuilding. Kwesi Enimeje, our correspondent, is with us. Good morning, Kwesi. How are you?
Good morning, David.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Koko.
Yeah, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what do you know about these clay pits? Let's start with the clay pits first of all. What do you know about these clay pits, and what if you can just sort of give us a sense of the danger that people are in?
Well, Koko, this issue of clay mining, or should I say illegal clay mining or unregulated clay mining that is happening in the Shama District has been going on since 2007. And it is so because the region had its, the very district we are talking about, that is the Shama District, had its first factory that needs this clay mining as its raw material for the ceramics that it produces. That is Twyford Kida factory. This factory was actually started early 2016 and then finally completed in the first quarter of 2017. And since it started operation, the issue of clay has been the hottest commodity within the area. The factory needs this raw material to actually process what comes out of tiles, Twyford tiles, and other ceramic products. And so when you get to this particular district, the Shama, right from a community called Biposo, which used to be a popular toll booth point, all the way to the Pra River, from the Pra River all the way to the end. I mean, the connection between Shama and Central Region. You know, Shama is the last district before you get to Central Region. All the communities in this area, they have been mining these clay mines as a raw material to supply to this Twyford Kida plant situated at Abuaze. Again, we have a second clay processing plant, which is called Wankan, also situated within the Sekenita Kwade metropolis, and all of these plants need this clay mining. We also have information that other trucks come from Tema to buy some of this raw material and then transported all the way to Tema to supply other plants that are also processing this clay mining. And since this thing began, we've been recording instances of, open pits. These pits are left open after the clay is mined, and they are not covered. And so it gathers water, and we've recorded 1 or 2 incidents of children playing around it and some falling into it and then dying as a result. It is some of the community members that we spoke to at people who also complained that it breeds mosquitoes. And it's not a good sight for the environment, and also breeds mosquitoes. Others also complained about the fact that the arable lands that they could have used for the planting of cassava, planting of sugar cane, and other crops that could easily be planted there are not, I'm able to take place because the surfaces of these lands have been scooped away as clay to feed these plants. And so that is one of the concerns. We've actually made contact, since January of last year, we made contact with the district assembly where we spoke with the planning officer, the engineer for the Shama District, who told us that the assembly hadn't given them permits. And most of them were given just a permit to go and do what they call testing, just to be sure whether it is viable for them to go in there. But unfortunately, even though the assembly is saying that they have not given them permit, the assembly has mounted toll booths just for these trucks, where they take money from these trucks as they move from their site to the plant. And so they collect money from them on the way to the plant. So the assembly is claiming that they've not given them permit to operate, but they're actually taking money from these trucks that haul the clay to the plant. We made contact with the Environmental Protection Agency after January 2020. The EPA at the time told us that they haven't given any permit for anybody to go into such a business. Just last quarter, December, just before the Christmas, we made contact with EPA, and we were told that they've now given one person a permit to also do testing. And so it is not operational permit that is given. It's just for them to do some kind of reckoning to see whether it is a viable thing for them to go in there. We made our way to the Minerals Commission, because this is also a mineral. And the Minerals Commission, as of January 2020, also told and confirmed to us that they shouldn't be doing what they are doing because they haven't given them their permits. Because for you to be able to go into this clay mining, you need permit from these key 3 institutions. That is the engineering department of the assembly, the EPA, and the Minerals Commission. But before the assembly can give you a permit, the EPA and the Minerals Commission permit must first be in place before the assembly can give you a go-ahead. So the Minerals Commission regional boss was very unhappy. They said they don't have anything to do because the assembly is the one that has the security, the dissect to actually enforce their illegal activity. Luckily, after the first story was done, just a week down the lane, the DCE led a team of security people who visited some of the plants. In fact, we went with them, and then they stopped most of them. In fact, they took their batteries away and other actions. And so the assumption was that the exercise has been found in the district, and they said they are going to meet the people to look at how best they can do that. And I must say, on the day that we went to the assembly, led by the DCE to this site, some of the operators told us the assembly, besides taking money from them for the hauling of these trucks, has also collected money, and they showed evidence of that money for reclamation for the pits that they've already created. This information we passed on to the EPA. The EPA and the Minerals Commission said that the assembly doesn't even have the authority to determine how much it will go into the reclamation of that land, and so they shouldn't have even taken that money. So these are some of the issues that is happening within the Shama District when it comes to the unregulated clay mining.
All right. So just briefly tell us about the road also in Nyanikrom, just briefly.
Yeah, this is about, 6-kilometer road equivalent from the main Cape Coast road. It's a bypass from the Cape Coast Takoradi Road to a community called Nyanikrom. And Nyanikrom is a very crucial community because it happens to host about 2 major plants. That is the Zoil Waste Environmental Plant, and then we have the Zeal Environmental Plant. It's become a hub for the waste management. If you take Zeal, for instance, Zeal manages about 70% of all the oil waste. That is our oil, our offshore oil production that we are doing. The waste that are not supposed to be thrown into the sea, they are brought down, and Zeal is the company, the Ghanaian company that actually does processing of these, manage these wastes, and then properly dispose them of. And so we have very strategic institutions along the stretch and in addition to the community. And this road is a very bad road. When it rains, it's very difficult to actually ply the road. And so community residents have been complaining that the road is fixed. And so that's the situation with the Nyanikrom road. All
right. Thank you so much, Akwesi Edimeje. We'll get back to you at a later time. Thank you very much for that. So that was our correspondent there. And we do have the DCE, Joseph Amwa of the Shama District, that we want to speak to find out exactly what it is that the Assembly has been up to in terms of, you heard Akwesi there talking about the fact that they've been taking monies from the people, the clay miners and those who are transporting to places like Tema. They've been taking monies from them. They've been charging them tolls for going to the place. Meanwhile, it doesn't seem as though they have the authority fully to do that. And some people, so there's various conversations going on. The EPA has to come in. The engineering department of the Assembly has to come in. And so on and so forth. So we would like to hear from the DCE to find out exactly what it is that has been going on as far as they are concerned, and why it is that the lands there have not been reclaimed and it's causing people to lose their lives. We're going to be talking to them very soon. All right, so that is what we have as far as that is concerned. There are other challenges we'll be speaking to at a later time. There's the last, if you remember, earlier on we had Hello Mr. President, one of the earlier episodes we talked about a school, and of course as schools are reopening, there's going to be another challenge that we're talking about where people have been using in a Bono East district, Bono East region, the people are using schools as a dumping ground for refuse, and so on. So we're going to be having that conversation soon. Yes, and DCE Joseph Amwa is with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, and I hope you're also fine.
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, so kindly let us know, what is it that the Assembly has been doing to deal with this problem of the reclamation of lands at the clay pits that are being formed? People are losing their lives and so on and so forth. What is the Assembly doing?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Yes, this issue of clay mining has been on the table for quite some time. And illegal activities that are going on. Over the period, we've taken a number of steps. I heard your reporter saying some of the things that you've done. Initially, we realized that most of them are doing this activity illegally. So we summoned all of them to a meeting with EPA, with the Mineral Commission, and even the companies that are receiving this clay. They supply the clay to Wankan and Twyford. And interestingly, Twyford is under one district, one factory, which means that the government or we also have a responsibility to ensure that they also thrive. But the way their raw materials are being taken is a concern that we are all grappling with. I know that after the meeting that they should acquire the license or permits from EPA and Mineral Commission. Some of them have been able to acquire some permits, even though they were temporary permits. And I think that is what they are using. We are also aware that some of them are doing it illegal. We try to clamp on them, but most of the time they outwit us. One of our big challenges is that the way they acquire the land, for instance, the one at Biposo, I mean, for a landowner to give land so close to the community for this kind of activity also beats one's imagination. We reported the matter even to the Regional Coordinating Council, and we have DISEC has taken a decision on it, and we are trying to use the security agencies to clamp on those who are doing that illegally. With regards to reclamation, yes, when we met, we all agreed on the way forward as far as reclamation is concerned. In fact, EPA said that it is their responsibility to ensure reclamation. But we realized that it is not being done. Then everybody is pointing fingers at the assembly. So we agreed on an amount to be paid for reclamation in case they don't do it. And as I speak, there are certain areas that are being reclaimed. When you go to around Chipom-Dinko, Biposo, those areas are being reclaimed. Other areas around Yabuasi Junction is also being reclaimed. There are also applications for people to use it for fish farming and all that, which are also being considered. So this is the situation that we have on our hands at the moment.
Okay, well, I think we will have to call you at another time to find out a bit more what's going on there, because according to the EPA, they feel as if it's not your place to determine how much should be charged for reclamation. Is that correct?
Well, that might be correct, but the concern is that EPA, as far as you know, are not also taking any steps to do reclamation. And at the end of the day, I mean, the effect is being felt by the people within the district. So, of course, we cannot sit down and fold our arms. So we need to at least do something about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Amoah is the DC of Shama District, and he's been helping us to get into this thing and understand a little bit better what is going on in Shama District. I'm sure we're definitely going to follow up on the progress there in the Western region. All right, Apioko.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.